do pin moving with the boys.
Wait for it. There it goes.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, quesadillas and tacos.
Throwing out
I
there.
got.
Dude, we need to do one of these on a Tuesday so we can do the Taco Tuesday podcast.
Yeah. Well, it goes up on Tuesday. We just record it on Monday.
Yeah. But Taco Tuesday podcast.
Maybe our next live video or live podcast, we do that.
That'd be fun.
That'd be really fun.
99-cent tacos.
Yeah. We're gonna start this off with kind of a mukbang and just shoot the shit for a little bit.
Ian just got off work. Been traveling for 2 weeks, so
we're hungry. Just
yeah.
let us eat and hang out for a minute. So, dude, these chicken quesadillas they have over there,
Dude, they're so good. She packs them full of meat too.
and their shrimp tacos are fire. Their tacos over there are so fire.
They're so good. What's that place called again?
La Pala Pala?
La Pala Pala?
La Pala Pala, I think. It's something like that. It's like La Pala Lala or La Pala Pala. Lapa Lapa. There you go.
Yeah. Little shout out. Put respect on their name.
Oh, dude.
It's so good.
Yeah, welcome. It's been a long day for me.
It's been a long weekend, dude.
You
I
know,
was traveling for 2 weeks. I had to get up at 4 a.m. in Philadelphia, which is 2 a.m. Salt Lake time. Fly in, get to my house, drive straight to the mountain to caddy for this kid for a 4-hour round on the mountain. Yeah, I was exhausted.
dude, I feel for like the guys who like didn't have caddies. Like you have no idea how grateful I am for you guys. Like, I hike every day for work, and like hiking on the weekends just kills me. And
Well, like carrying a bag for that long, mentally is like it's physically draining, but it's also like mentally draining.
yeah,
So like by the time you get to the end of your round, you're just like, dude, I'm tired. I want to go home. I don't want to carry this heavy bag anymore. Like,
yeah,
you're just kind of over it. So having somebody be able to help you with that helps
Yeah.
so much. I feel like.
helps so much. And like, dude, I woke up Sunday morning and like my hamstrings, my hip flexors, and my glutes were tight.
Yep.
And I woke up this morning and I was like, oh, yo, I don't know how I'm gonna go to work and hike today. And I made it, but holy crap, dude, I'm tired.
I was feeling good the last 2 days, and I think it's just catching up with me. I'm like, cool. I need a day. I finally got out and played around.
Did you?
Yeah, well, up at Roots, I was trying to get a zone ace up there. Nothing
Nothing happened.
today. I had a couple good throws with him. Honestly, the closest ace I had was with my hex.
Dude,
But
those zones, I'm gonna keep saying this, and they are new, but they are straight. Like, they're fun. I
I was
really
trying to
like
throw like a hyzer line. and I would just cruise past the basket. And I was like, I could almost have to throw it straight at it. Like, I was like, it's not hyzering in like I want it to.
No.
It would just like push like hole 4, every single one 30 feet past the basket
Really?
on a hyzer line. Like there was no way. Like I had to go straight at it, and I'm like, I don't throw straight at it with a zone.
They're kind of hard to flick too.
They're really hard to flick. Hole 10, I was flicking them, ran back, flicked another set of them, and I can get it almost right to where like my flick comes out on hyzer, and they'll stand up, ride straight, and then just like come out. Had to go like 10 feet past the basket, but like online.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't choose to flick those zones.
They're sick though. I do like them. Yeah. What else is going on with us before we like really dive into this? You're back from vacation.
I'm happy to be home. I had fun. Visiting family.
It feels good to be
Seattle.
back in here doing this, dude.
It does.
Like doing it in my room and like doing it over Discord, like it's still fun. But like here, it's like you still have people walking around. Like Ben wants to come talk about some stuff if he has time.
Yeah, you get to see all the new discs coming out and everything that's going
we got
on. Like,
we got some things to talk about over here, which is good because I think we can skip over. I mean, we're not gonna skip over anything, but like the stuff I don't want to talk about for very long, we can just blow through, and then we'll still have plenty of stuff to talk about. So
yeah,
it should be a good time.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
So
Sick.
Oh, Juno.
It has been a Monday. I forgot my computer, so if I'm looking at my phone, it's podcast notes for this week and like all of our important stuff. And I forgot to ask Ben something before we started, but we'll just make it work. Okay.
It wouldn't be a podcast if it wasn't us being chaotic.
Exactly. With dogs barking in the back.
Oh, that's just snoots.
All right, I'm good. I'm gonna start us off. This weekend was Solitude Open. For those of you who don't know, maybe those who aren't in Utah who are listening, Solitude Open is one of our first big events here, like in the valley. Even though it's up in the mountains, it's in the valley. It's close enough. We have a lot of locals come up and play. I know you didn't play, but you were there. You got to see it. I'd like to hear like your thoughts on how things were run and stuff like that. And
well, I've played Solitude the last 3 years. 3 years? 2 years? 3 years? I played that tournament, so it's nice to see some of the changes that have been made to that course. Not necessarily like updates yet. I know Chaz put out a notice that they're going to be doing more updates to the course, like updating baskets and tee pads and things like that, and that'll take time.
Yeah.
But like reducing the number of holes. Like a couple years ago when I played it, we played like a 26-hole layout up there, and it took like 6.5-hour rounds. We were playing hill holes where we went up like 500 feet of elevation gain throughout the round. Like just so much that you were just like drained getting backups. Like it's nice to see them kind of condense it into Solitude.
Yeah.
Still had a few backups throughout the weekend, but that course kind of forces it.
Yeah, and it does force backups, and it's also because you have to spot for people on some holes.
Yep.
And I think that's more of a volunteering issue than a card issue.
It's hard to get people up there to like, how do you incentivize? Oh, we'll give you a lift pass for the day, and you're like, that's great, but like you're giving me a lift pass to do what? Stand up in the field for 7 hours, 8 hours?
Yeah, it's
like finding discs.
Like Kevin. Shout out to Kevin Montgomery, dude.
Yeah.
With that hole 6 every day, he missed one. I think he missed one card on that whole hole, and it was my card first day because we were the first ones.
Yeah.
He was walking down, like he was there teeing off with us pretty much. So shout out to Kevin. Like he did an amazing thing volunteering. He couldn't play because he had to catch a flight, but thank you, Kevin. I appreciate you. Like,
dude, it's so much help on that hole too, especially like because there's so many different lines for hole 6. You know, the big wide hyzer line that I like to do personally.
Yeah.
I know that's what Ben did the last day, and he eagled on that one. You have like your line trying to scoot it down the middle, and then the big left side where you get a lot of lefties or forehands going down there. It's so easy to catch trees and just be like, I have no idea where that went.
Yeah.
Like it hyzered out somewhere. It's like, oh yeah, it's your one disc was like 60 feet up in the tree.
And we
It's like
somehow still got it.
it's like we're never spotting that if
Yeah.
somebody wasn't down there putting a flag,
sure.
being like, oh yeah, it's up in this tree.
Yeah. For sure. I thought overall the tournament was very, very well run. I do like the bottom 3 holes. I think it kind of makes the start of your round a little more like, hey, it's the start of a round instead of, oh, take a chair up and then start, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
Also, it gives you a chance to actually throw a shot before you get to hole 1.
yeah.
Like hole 1's kind of just like a putter forehand, realistically, but
Yeah.
like I said, it gives you a chance to really like rip one. Like
I mean,
hole B, you have to throw as hard as humanly possible.
Uphill.
Yeah, to get up to it.
Mm-hmm.
And like hole C gives you that like, oh, this is what it feels like throwing downhill.
Yeah. No, I appreciated that. I really did. Solitude, great course. My only thing, and I know it's hard to get away from at a course like that, is going back to spotters. Like, we on last day you were there, we were a 3-top, and everyone else in front of us was a 3-top, and then behind us was a slow 4-top, not just a 4-top, but a slow 4-top, and we had to sit and watch everyone else's discs come in. And at hole 6, you're supposed to throw your tee shots, go down, throw your up shots, turn around, and look.
Yep.
We had finished out the hole, I think we waited about almost 10 minutes. Yeah. Before Kevin's like, we don't even see them. Like, if they were coming up that hole 5,
yeah,
it would be like, okay, we can stop and wait, but we didn't see them coming up hole 5.
You guys played hole 7 before they even threw off hole 6.
When we teed off hole 8, they were getting down 6 for up shots.
Yeah.
So they were a few holes behind, and then 18, they were on hole
14.
So they were like 4.5 holes behind us.
Yeah.
And like hole 18 like is a beast in itself, where like
they're almost 1,300 foot downhill shot. Like you need spotters. Like yeah, it plays down to where everybody's hanging out. Like you're either getting ready for your round, you just finished your round, you're hanging out, having some food, some drinks or whatnot. Like, but us seeing it from 1,000 feet away, I can't be like, hey, you're up in that tree over there, or like you landed near the bike path over there. Like you need somebody on the hill.
Yeah, for sure. And that is very helpful. Like that is one hole where I think we need to have a spotter.
Yeah.
And then my performance, it was weird. My performance was kind of weird. Day 1, we're on the disc really well. I didn't know what to do on hole B, so I kind of screwed that up, but I saved par.
Yeah.
I was throwing the disc well, except for hole 10, hole 3. Everything else I felt good about.
Hole 3 is just a hard hole. Like I said, I couldn't figure out hole 3 for like years until my buddy was like, just throw a thumber down it. And now I'm like, cool, it's never a birdie play for me throwing a thumber down it, but I know I can get down there.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's such a touchy downhill turnover, flip up forehand kind of shot. That's like, you have to have so much control and finesse to throw that it's so hard.
It's a hard birdie.
Yeah.
But let's just go through this. So, hole 1, hole A, birdie.
Don't go through your whole round.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of like the important ones. Hole 1, I bogeyed or doubled.
You bogeyed the first day.
I just like landed short, went like gave it a soft bid, had a kind of a bad roll away, missed a comeback putt, tap and bogey. Hole 3, doubled. I missed a putt. That was my first chain out of the round. A little hyzered, maybe a little hard for the baskets, but like
they're old baskets.
They're very old baskets. Like they're the old 2-chain baskets. Like they have one link in the middle, one link on the outside, and that's it.
Yeah.
And
they only have the 3, I believe, as well. Like it sits shallower.
Yeah, it's not
the bigger ones that they have now.
But it was a chain out, and like that chain out I was like okay with. Hole 9 comes up. Great shot, great up shot. 10-foot putt. Flat putter this time instead of hyzer. Less power. hits like where you want to aim, like just right of pole,
Mm-hmm.
hits basket, spits out. I was like, okay, that kind of scared me. Hole 10 comes up, and I have a par save putt. I screwed up my first shot, screwed up my up shot, but somehow still had a putt. Like, got very lucky, and threw my putt almost dead center, and it went through everything. And at that, like,
It wasn't dead center then.
well, it was just right. It's like where you want to aim,
Yeah.
just right of pole, and like JD and Brady, can't remember his name, who were on my card, was like, that should never happen.
Yeah.
And I literally, like, I didn't touch my mini, I didn't touch my other partner, I just put everything down and walked away. I walked 20 feet away and laid in the grass, like, about to cry. I'm like, I'm pissed off. Like, that sucks.
You gotta remember, that's happening to everybody
know.
out there. You're all playing on the same basket.
Yeah. And then day 2, felt like I
You
was
played better. You played more conservative day 2.
Yeah. Shot more conservatively, had a lot of fun.
You played a lot more birdies.
Yeah. Hole 10. Another bad tee shot. Up shot, I juiced like 100 past basket.
So far.
And
we
we
made it through 2 different sets of trees without hitting anything.
And we couldn't find my disc, so I had to go back and throw from my previous shot for a bogey. And that really stung.
Yeah.
Um,
Ended up finding that disc day 3.
yeah, we did. Same area we were looking, just 10 feet further down, 20 feet
Oh,
further down.
it was 50 feet further down
Yeah, it
than we
was
were
a
looking.
ways. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I think
nobody
far.
nobody was finding that if I didn't know where to go look, basically.
Yeah. And then, I don't know, the rest of, like,
The rest of the round, you played well. You just kind of got in your head at the end.
I got in my head at 16, 17, 18,
Yeah.
for sure. And then day 3, I felt like I played pretty good.
Your putting was good.
Putting felt great. I basically just said, I love these baskets and fuck you, I'm putting it in the basket.
That's all you got to do.
And that's what I did, and it worked out. And I just haven't been putting enough. Like, I felt that day 1, I just haven't been putting enough. But
Finished, what, 40 points over your rating for the
it
weekend?
was, I think my last round was 899 when I finished it, and I bumped it down to hold on, I think I'm 26 over my rating for the whole weekend, which I'm very happy with.
Yeah. Especially on a course like that that's like really hard, and like you can have days. Like I said, dude, I played that course last year. I'm pretty sure I finished one of my days at like +7.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, it was happening. We saw it with Luke.
yep.
You know, he shot +12, and he's like, I'm done for the day. Which,
Yeah.
round 1, 883. Round 2, 861. Round 3, 883 again.
Every day above.
Every day above, +25 on my rating for the event. So I'm happy with that. I want to shoot 900 this weekend, and
You got close.
I got close. I was pretty happy with myself, but congrats to JD or Jordan on your MA3 win. Let's go through these real quick. MJ18 Carter. This kid throws bombs, by the way.
Yeah.
Did you see him throw off 18?
No, I didn't.
So I think it was day 1 he was behind us because we were first card out, and I think his dad, him, and someone else were
On their
a card behind us. The kid threw it to the road on 18,
Hell
like
yeah.
with no problem. And then his dad was just like, well, okay. But congrats, Carter. Good job, dude. FA2. Desir Carpenter. Congrats. Desiree. Thank you so much. I can't say words. Craig Bennett. Congrats in MA2. Shooting 19 under in MA2.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. He shot.
Even the pars were modified a little bit for MA2 and MA3, but not that much that you're 19 under is crazy.
Yeah, he
That's
shot
what, nine strokes. So he would have shot 10 under on the A layout. That's crazy.
He
so good.
eagled 18 and eagled 13, which would be birdies, and shot 9 under day 2. So
that's crazy. That's
higher than MA1, I think.
Well, you got to remember the pars are slightly different.
MA4 Michael Kirkwood, congrats, or MA40. MA1 Eric. I actually got to see him finish out his round. Played really well. Congrats, Eric. He was on my first ever sanctioned card.
Nice.
Marvin won MP50. Congrats, Marvin. MP40, Sean Hansen, shooting well. Shot very well over the weekend. 11 under. Him and Greg were kind of fighting it out. Mike had a chance on the final day, but he just didn't shoot well enough. Mike Doherty. And then MPO. Ben, you want to come talk about MPO real quick? Sure. Jake Laputka, 19 under, 6 under final round to take it down from Mikey Wilkinson, who's playing great all weekend.
Was. Yeah.
Grab a chair. Pull up. First off, how you doing, Ben?
Good.
Good to be back.
The end of July, so my taxes are due. So I could be less stressed, that's for sure. But outside of that, things are good.
Good.
Shop's looking real full right now. We've
Yeah,
got.
Looking very full.
I don't think I need to like buy anything for a while, which is good because I can't. And yeah, it's hopefully gonna start. It's felt like it's gonna start cooling off here, hopefully a little bit.
I hope so.
Because it's been hot. But yeah, Solitude Open was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Had a blast. Chaz does an amazing job with his tournaments, and this was no exception. And it was sweet that it was close. I'm happy with that. We were talking kind of during the first couple rounds that it was sort of anybody's tournament in MPO, because there was like sometimes we get random like 10 20 rated crushers from the area who will show up to a tournament like that, and then it's kind of like they're the presumptive winner almost, and everyone's trying to beat them. But like you saw Mikey, who's like 930 something rated, 940 rated.
Yeah.
He's a better player than that rating, that's for sure. That's why ratings are silly, but he's like going out and absolutely crushing. And yeah, anybody's ball game in the MPO field this week, and yeah, I had a good time for sure.
It was sick.
Yeah.
It was sick. I enjoyed watching you guys bombing off 18.
Oh man,
Everyone was bombing off 18.
Yeah, I was telling Chaz after that event that I think that it's worth paying for that event strictly to be able to throw that shot 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
To where that basket is, because you just can't play that outside of a tournament, and it's epic.
Yeah.
It's also one of the few places that he was saying that the one day a guy from the tee pad hit the bottom of the basket, or
With a Gorgon.
was it a Gorgon?
Heck yeah.
I heard
it was John Ashworth.
So
he threw it was a double flip.
It was a double flip.
Double flip. So he threw it on. It was hyzer to Annie to hyzer to Annie. Turned into a roller at the base of the hill. Essentially rolled up the lattice, hit basket, almost aced, and then had so much spin that it shot 50 feet right. And that was.
Yep.
Yeah. But still sick. Like
yeah.
just
One of the few places you can get that like double flip where the disc has enough time to.
Yeah. We were like
gain speed.
inches from seeing, or like at least being at the tournament for, not necessarily like seeing it, but like being there for what would have been
the farthest ace ever.
Well, yeah, longest disc golf shot ace of all time, and most epic part about it would have been that's like in a tournament, so it's not like anyone can question it. You're like, oh, was it his first shot? No, it was.
Yeah.
And way cool. So I think some folks are about to walk in.
Yeah, you're good.
I'm gonna go say hi. But yeah, I played pretty well. I enjoyed myself. Thanks to these boys for running the pop-up shop while I was out there. That was awesome.
It was super fun.
Anything to help out,
Okay.
Oh, it's just Malachi. No worries. I had a blast, Solitude. Chaz, Davey, all you guys at Mountain Air, thank you. That was a great tournament. I had a great time. Malachi, you want to come say hi? We'll let him gimp on over here. He just meniscus surgery.
Oh,
here,
wow.
yeah, come tell us all about it. Look at this. Wow, we're getting all sorts of surprises today.
You ever want to know how to get hurt at playing disc golf?
Oh yeah. Throw him from a chair now.
I'll just be throwing
Break out
forehands in 4 weeks.
Sick.
Played 1 round a week, 2 on Friday, 2 on Saturday, 3rd round on 18. I was probably throwing about 5+ discs every hole, all throughout the day. Hurt myself on like
Damn.
18, 5th shot in. Dunzo.
Oh no.
Embarrassing. I told a girl last night. She laughed at me a little bit.
Oh, Malachi. Hey, well, I'm glad to see you walking and not on crutches anymore.
Yeah, that's good to see.
Just cane. All right, back to disc golf. Sorry. Yeah. Anything else about Solitude?
I love it up there. I mean, you have the next tournament next weekend is Beaver Mountain, which is 2.5 hours north.
I'm not going.
Another mountain course that I know Chandler's going up for that, but
Mhm.
not my scene. But at least we're getting the mountain golf series going now.
Yeah, I love mountain golf, baby. I love it. Cause you got to play smart up there. Like mountain golf's like I feel like Creekside you can mess up and you'll be fine. Like you can save par most times. Up there you mess up, you're saving bogey most times.
Well, it amplifies your mistakes.
Yeah, 100%.
Right. Like you hyzer out too early, and not only you just like dumping out, you're dumping out 300 feet from the basket.
Yep.
Like it just amplifies everything you do. It makes you have to have that finesse.
Yeah.
You said you could throw a great shot on hole 3, that big downhill,
Mm-hmm.
that you're like, oh, it's a perfect angle, but you throw it 50 feet too high and you're going 300 feet too long.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay,
Yeah.
that wasn't a great shot then.
Same with hole 1. Like if you don't throw something stable enough, you're going past twos.
Yep. I've seen so many
Yeah.
people go past 2's T-pad.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's wild up there.
Crazy. Ben, I would love you for this part too, if you have a moment. Okay. So, going off my chain outs this weekend, we want to talk about favorite baskets and why, and kind of put them not like in an A, B, C tier, but like kind of list them like your favorites to the worst. And we have a few here, but if you have any others that you can think of off the top of your head.
Sure. No. Yeah. Innova disc catchers are, I think, the gold standard for baskets. We have a lot of the MVP portals showing up in Utah right now. A number of different courses. I think they're okay. I think they're kind of on par with like. I think Dynamics baskets are actually really good.
The veterans.
The veterans.
Yeah.
Like for me, it'd be like Innova disc catchers are kind of like top of the line, best ones. Discraft and DD are kind of tied for me in terms of second best, and then there's like a bit of a jump, and then it's like MVP and Prodigy are sort of on the same levels in terms of their baskets, and then the rest. The Prodigy ones have the weird crosshatches,
Yeah.
which
I'm
is
not
the
a
only
fan.
reason I don't like them, honestly. But outside of that, I like the chains are really burly and good. The problem I have with the MVPs is that their chains are light. Like
Very light.
the chains are light and they don't stop the momentum of the disc. The disc affects the chain, not the chain stopping the disc, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
the Innova disc catchers have very burly links that slow down the momentum of the disc when it hits them and then just sits it down like before it hits the pole. And the MVP baskets, since they're essentially kind of just a little flimsier in terms of their production and the materials they're using to make them, the chains kind of let the disc get all the way to the pole a lot of the time and then occasionally push back out. And for me, the hallmark of a good basket is when the disc never even gets to the pole, even if you're putting pretty quick. And I just noticed that a lot at Creekside and now the Fort and some of the other spots we've got. So I think Innova disc catchers are where it's at, and they're the most expensive, and I think that's
For a reason.
for a good reason. Yeah, they're excellent.
Well, that was like when I went up to Portland, a lot of those courses have the veterans because it was like the Pro Tour.
Mhm.
And I remember the first time I putted on those, I was still doing my like soft lob putt. And because of how heavy those chains are, a lot of time my disc would just bounce out because I don't have the power to like smash into those chains sometimes. Like they were just like, oh yeah, if you putt real hard, it'll catch no problem and like stay
anytime,
in there.
which is how you should expect them to catch, essentially.
Right.
Yeah.
But as like the newer beginner, it was always just like, damn, I can't make anything on these because like it just hits and doesn't like
Yeah.
catch. It kind of just like, oh, you have to throw it.
Yep. Yeah, the baskets at Solitude are the old like Mach 5s or something like that, which I kind of love playing on old baskets. For me, it's nostalgic, but
Sorry, I can't join you on that party.
I know
Mhm.
it
No
sucks. I mean,
nostalgia
like,
here.
I feel you. Like I had 5 or 6 spit outs yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
and on the last day of the tournament, which was not a great time, but it's like whatever. Everyone's got spit outs. So.
Yeah. I was actually gonna like flip flop you. I think the MVP baskets because I don't have a super powerful putt,
Mm-hmm.
but when you miss right or left, it's a little more forgiving than the Innova baskets. The
'Cause it
Innova
doesn't push
baskets
it.
like will spit you out immediately
Mm-hmm.
if you're a little right or a little left. whereas MVP ones catch it a little better. But like you said, the chains aren't as heavy on the MVP
and
baskets.
honestly, that's like more than anything. That's like my biggest concern because I'm looking at the MVP baskets from a perspective of like trying to help pseudo manage Creekside, and to me the biggest problem I have with them is that they're flimsy and that they're like already I can see like baskets are getting cattywampus from people just like reaching in there and picking them up. A lot of the welds showed up not welded. Like the baskets themselves are just not the best construction.
Yeah.
But in terms of their ability to catch discs, I think they do pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. I can't stand I put them in the park baskets category because it's what you see at like the Mach 5s and like whatever T-ville has.
Yeah.
I think those are also Mach 5s, aren't
Old,
they?
yeah.
Yeah.
Mach 8s, whatever.
Yeah.
I can't stand. For me, it's also like to make a basket look pretty. I feel like you have to have a top band. Like this looks great because it has a top band.
Yeah.
Whereas if it doesn't have a top band, like and you hit that little chunk of metal,
It's the nub. Yeah,
it could go either way.
Visually, it makes it a lot easier to put on the ones that do have bands because I had a couple nub hits where like when you're looking at the basket, like you just see metal, right? And it's hard to see where the chains begin and the top of the basket ends sometimes.
Yeah.
And having that like big bright visual band is nice for sure. And so
When it can be fluky too, like you said, sometimes I saw a couple people's putts hit nub straight down into the basket, or hit nub, bounce 5 feet backwards and roll.
Yeah.
Or
like,
hit nub and fly over.
Yeah.
Right. And you know what's
That's
gonna
all
happen no matter what. If you hit square on the band, it should fall out.
Right.
Because it's not a good putt.
Yeah.
It's too high.
Yeah.
Okay. Random question.
Mm-hmm.
What color would you want the ideal basket band to be?
Or basket.
Oh,
Basket.
I don't think there's a super important color as long as it's like a clear difference between the gray and the color of it. Like if it's yellow's fine, white's fine. I think hot pink would be sick.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Can you
Hot
imagine,
pink.
like hot pink baskets. I think some people would get all about it, but I think it'd be pretty cool.
Dude, hot pink baskets, that's all.
We got folks coming in, by the way.
Yeah, you're good. You're
have-
free now. I will not bug you for a while.
Yeah.
You have some people that like hate the idea of like green baskets because it blends in with, but then the other people are like, no, I want it to blend in with nature because I don't want to see baskets. I want to look out and see the woods and the field and stuff like that.
I think it can go both ways. I think if it's green, it needs to be the right color green. It can't just be like a lime green in a dark green forest.
Yeah.
Right? That looks bad. You either make it blend in or so obvious that it's there.
When I personally am not a fan of like the blend in because like even the black baskets, right? If it's a little shadowy out there, I mean, we both ski.
Mm-hmm.
The second you get flat lighting and you're like, I have no idea how far away this is. I can barely see it. It's like depth perception throws off. And it's like you get that flat lighting on a course in the woods sometimes with a black basket, and all of a sudden you're like, where am I throwing?
Yeah.
And then you're like, I know it's somewhere down there. I'm gonna just huck a shot, and then you end up being like 50 long or nowhere near. It's actually over that way.
Yeah.
Like, and that goes back to like marking courses properly.
Mhm.
But I like baskets that just stand out, like the bright orange that we have at
Creekside? I love
it.
I love it.
When they were asking like what colors to be put in, that was first one. I was just like, yes, love it.
Love bright orange. Do you think, because this is something that I had recently thought about, and they have them at Solitude. They have them at Brighton, but in a different way. We have not so much here, but I've seen courses where you have two baskets that look like you could play to both, and some don't have numbers. So new people are like, "Oh, I'm gonna play the one straight ahead because it makes sense." But like, hole 16 at T-ville, right? You have the one that's straight ahead that you can see from the hole 17. Sorry, at T-ville, where you have the one straight ahead, but it's actually the one tucked in the trees to the right. Did you not? It depends
Is
on
there
where the
multiple
basket.
baskets in there?
Well, it's like
it's normally right
14s.
by the cage.
It's 14. It's 14's basket, but people are like, "Oh, I need to play to that basket," but it's actually the one to the right, which is 17. But like,
17, 16.
17.
No, 17 plays to the kiddie part, to the pool.
At Roots.
Oh, at Roots.
Yeah.
Oh, you said T-ville.
Did I say T-ville?
You said T-ville.
I'm
I was like, what are you talking about,
It's
dude?
been
It
a
plays to
long
the
day.
pool.
17 Roots, where you're
yeah,
like,
so many people play to 14's basket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
do we need more obvious like, hey, this is
Signage.
not signage, but like for people who don't look at signs, like you look at the sign, I still don't know which one.
You can look at the signs at Creekside, and still not know where you're going.
Yeah, but have like this is hole number 17, and have one of those things on top, like a little baller or something, or just leave it blank. What do you like more?
I mean, I don't mind having the little thing on top. I mean, it does stop putts that are too high or whatnot, but so does like putting a flag on it. Like that one hole at Solitude, I forget which one it was. Your putt was 4 feet over the basket.
It hit
the flag
dropped.
that you need to be able to see the basket from the tee pad and just drop down.
Yeah.
And it's like, cool. I know where the basket is because we need a marker like that. But then it's also like saving a putt that ended up being a little bit too high or something like that. That could have went 20 feet, 30 feet long.
Yeah, I don't think you should have flags unless it is a like blind shot, like an uphill blind shot
Right.
kind of thing. I don't think like it's a big hyzer and basket's over your life. You don't need a flag.
Yeah.
But like if you're throwing up a hill and you're like, I still don't know where I'm going, I think that's when you need a flag. Like, what's the new one at Brighton, that par 4 that we played? It was like, it used to be the easy par 4.
That we're playing the opposite way now.
Yeah, like you come out from the
It's at
trees,
6,
play the hyzer.
7. It's now 8. The big Annie line, and then you go along the pathway, and it's tucked in those trees back there. It's new hole 8.
New hole 8 and new hole 8,
9.
11 maybe, where it's like the big hyzer shot to the chairlift, and then the uphill shot.
Oh, yeah.
That one, like, you need a flag. We couldn't see it when we played it.
We couldn't even see it from where our up shots, from where my second shot landed.
Yeah.
Take for granted. I didn't throw a good tee shot.
It was also that day, it was so, like, the shadows were so light and dark, and it was in the dark that you couldn't tell. Until you got up there, and then you went back, and you're like, oh, I can barely see it.
That's why I want the bright baskets.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I think that's all I had for baskets.
Did you get a chance to watch any pro disc golf this weekend?
I saw Ricky absolutely shredded.
I didn't get a chance to watch it.
I didn't watch. I watched highlights of day 1 and 2. I didn't even watch day 3 because I was playing.
I was gonna say, between travel and days up at Solitude, helping out with everything going on up there, like we got up there at 8 o'clock on Sunday, and we didn't leave until almost 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah,
Like
it was a long day, dude.
Up there for like 12 hours.
It was a long day. No, I didn't watch too much, but Ricky Slade, no surprise. Let me pull this up so I don't mess anything up.
I know Missy won, but it was close.
It's the playoff, I believe.
No, Evelina got into the. Evelina was on chase card. She made a big comeback, but.
No, but I still think they went to a playoff.
Oh, did they?
I
I just liked hole 1.
they went to a playoff, and Missy Gannon birdied hole 1, and Evelina parred it.
I like the idea of that hole 1 of like throwing from like the stadium into a big downhill shot. Like I saw so many videos of that, just that from the weekend. Like didn't watch it, but like
they were doing a distance contest off that too.
Yeah.
And people think it's like it just goes down and it's flat. It's a big U. So they're like throwing from here down into this valley, but they need to keep the disc flat. Like they can't throw it down because it comes back up.
Yeah.
So cool to watch. So cool. Like Eagle was throwing like 700 feet.
Yeah.
So cool. I love disc golf.
It's just fun to watch too, because then you can have people in the stands and be like, oh, okay, I can actually see it, versus like sometimes when they do the distance contest, you're like, oh, cool, AB threw it and it's gone.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like there you can actually like visualize and be like, okay, I see the disc flight the whole time.
Yeah.
Holy crap! Like, how do you do that?
Yeah. Super cool. It seemed like a pretty like straight up don't just stay in the fairway course.
Birdie or
But
die.
you could say that about most courses, but like this is a course it's like birdie or you're not winning.
Yeah.
Like on a lot of holes there's like a lot of like I think 90% of the field birdied it at one point throughout the weekend. So
Yeah.
it's crazy to see.
Well, day 1, I think it was. I saw Ricky was like 9 under through 11 or something like that.
So Ricky day 1 shot 16 under.
Yeah.
He was 9 under. He was 10 under through 11. He hit parred 10 and parred 14. Everything else was birdies. The only two he didn't hit, the only two discs he didn't keep in the fairway were his pars.
Yeah.
And then he had 100% C1X putting, 100% C2X putting. His average putt was 18 feet,
Damn.
with his longest being 49.
Just throwing it to a dime.
Yeah. Which is insane. And then like Paul Macbeth, dude, the dude was battling.
Old Ricky and Paul.
Ricky
battles.
and Paul was battling that last day to push it to a playoff. He shot 12 under on the final day, trying to put Rick into a playoff, and Rick just
held out.
Rick did have a few bogeys on the final day, but Ricky's round one was an 11-19 rated round.
Jeez.
11-19.
That's insane. That is absolutely
That's
insane.
crazy. 24. He shot 24 above his rating this week.
Hell yeah.
He's a
Not that ratings
1050.
matter for pros.
No, but he's a 1050 rated player, and he just shot 1019 with a 1073 rated tournament.
He was on one.
He's insane. Insane.
Shall we go through the fun bit that we
Yeah,
have?
let's go through the fun bit. You want to
Start
do
with the thing that's already out.
this thing?
Yeah.
Okay. So Ben has asked us to talk about these Halo Rolos a little bit. First off, I still haven't thrown. I think I've thrown a Rolo once,
I
And
have
it's
not
flippy.
thrown a roll up.
but these things look pretty. I want to buy one just because they look pretty.
They look pretty. They feel shallow is my thing.
Yeah, you don't like shallow.
I don't love shallow. I like, my. It reminds me, my double steady cinnamon. The thing is a flip monster. I was throwing it again today. Now that I got it back. Thank you, whoever returned that. Appreciate it. I love that thing, dude. Hole 11 at Roots, the one that goes around the corner. Heiser flip got around the corner with that thing. Just bombs. Like, I love that disc so much. That was like a 400 feet with a cinnamon. But it kind of reminds me of that, like how flippy it is. But apparently these Halo ones are pretty, not straight, but like not super flippy. Like Heiser flip up, ride, and then like fight out, kind of.
Yeah.
As you get with a lot of Halo plastic.
Yeah, this honestly, I don't mind this.
Yeah.
It is a little shallow for me, like this way, like going into the disc. Let me make sure I'm not leaking Ben's number, but
I don't think his number's on there.
it is.
No, is it?
It feels shallow to me coming this way, like this bit of it, if that makes sense. The depth doesn't feel bad. It's how shallow it is, like that way. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You
Rolos though.
They look sick. They look very sick.
Yeah.
Um.
And it was one of the best-selling discs that he had, so
Yeah.
it's good to see it in Halo.
All right. This is the new disc. Innova testers only. I am technically not allowed to touch this disc, but I'm touching it. The Star Racer, Innova smooth flying distance driver. Meet the Star Racer with the Racer first run stamp. This is Innova's mellow, long range control. Imagine a seasoned destroyer. They say that on here. Or destroyer performance for players with less power. Ideal for backhands and forehands. The flight numbers are 12-6, -1-2, Magic 6 Glide. Universal release for your favorite Innova retailer August 21st.
Feel
Let's
it compared to a destroyer.
So
Because
I know what a destroyer feels like. I don't like destroyers, but
when I first grabbed this, I thought it felt wide. But I think it's because it has that little bevel in it to make it a little less stable than destroyers.
you see that? I feel that it has a bead on the nose, and it's not.
It does.
It's not super domey. Like these destroyers are definitely more domey.
Yeah.
It looks like the same disc. No, it doesn't. The bead on the end. Here, let me.
I mean, that's the biggest difference is that little nose bead that it's got. Oh, he's gonna go around it and he's gonna drop things.
See the little nose bead? See what I'm talking about? Right there. I don't like it. I don't like how it feels.
No?
I don't like the nose bead.
I think now that you think about it, you don't like it, but if you didn't notice it,
I mean, it it feels rounded off, whereas this feels sharp, and I don't like how sharp this feels either.
You feel it more so in like at least how I throw that like power pocket. You feel it like right in here in that like last knuckle.
I feel it right there.
Yeah, and like not bad.
You like it?
I don't mind it. I just I think there's so many other discs that do kind of what a season. I mean, these
Right.
lightweight. Well, a race an 11 speed.
Yeah.
But like these lightweight destroyers are a seasoned destroyer essentially,
Yeah.
right? Like they still fight out and everything else. I
Let's do
wonder
that again.
how much fade that's going to actually have. Is going to be the big question.
So the tops look almost identical. Maybe a little higher shoulder on the racer. The bottoms have a little more like concaveness, whereas the destroyers are a little flatter.
Yeah,
Does that make
I
sense?
noticed that at first too.
I'm excited to go through this thing though. We
Yeah.
will be doing a review on the racer when it comes out. I would love to go through this one, but this is Ben's, and I'm not allowed to touch discs in the shop anymore. I'm joking. But the Magic 6 Glide, I mean, we saw the 6 Glide with the Gorgon.
That's what I was just looking for was a Gorgon. Because I was going to do a little comparison.
Further left, further left.
Gorgon. Yeah, no speed.
That Magic 6 Glide. Dude, I love this.
Gorgon is glidey.
It's very glidey. I wonder if this will be as glidey as this.
Yeah, and that's my question is like, cool. It's how much fade is it going to have if it's a neg 6 or if it's a 6 glide, right? Like essentially, it needs to like hold and like kind of fade out, but not like dump out like a
Yeah.
destroyer normally would. So that's
Yeah.
what I'm curious to see.
I am excited to see this racer, what it flies like.
I'm
I
more
wanna throw it.
excited about the next one.
Yeah, let's move on. So that was Innova. We have the new MVP drop coming out. Let's start at the top.
Start with the new disc.
Let's start with
Because
the new
these
disc.
aren't necessarily new discs.
No, but they are a new drop,
A new drop, new plastic.
Yeah.
But the new MVP or Axiom MVP. Trail. This disc was approved what, like a year and a half ago now? It's been a while since it got PDGA approved. And they haven't put them out yet. They haven't had a release yet. I believe the release date for these is August 2nd. So coming up here real soon. It's not going to be on there.
I don't know. I was just making sure it wasn't the same day.
Yeah. It's a 10.5 neg 2.1, I believe.
So a Gorgon.
So it's kind of like a Gorgon, or no, neg 1.1.
So it's gonna be
It's supposed to
longer
be a
hatch.
10. It's a 10-speed crave.
Oh.
Is what it's supposed to be.
Okay.
And it feels great. Honestly, I love the feel of it.
That
But-
does feel good.
It's supposed to be. It should be a little bit less flippy than the Gorgon, but also just kind of straighter in theory. So I'm really excited about that because the Crave is honestly one of my favorite discs. Even since playing as a beginner, it's super fun to throw. You can always make sure to like hit a straight line with it, maybe
Yeah.
even have a little flip. And having a faster Crave is kind of what I want. Like
Yeah.
it's essentially my if it's close to my Onyx where it like holds a line super straight and then has like a little bit of fade out to it,
You're
maybe
taking
not
it.
as much as my Onyx. It's money.
Yeah. Do you know what weight you got?
I don't.
Okay.
I
This
think they're.
is the 163. That's what I'm asking.
Oh, I think it was a 170.
Okay.
I had Ben put it aside for
Okay.
me.
I'm really excited to throw these things. I really didn't know much about them.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know they got PGA approved or anything. I saw they came out, or like MVP's officially releasing them. I'm excited to throw this thing. First off, it feels really good.
Yep.
If this dude, next year. I swear my bag's gonna be completely different than this year. Like I'm gonna have obviously like the same like utility discs and stuff, but like I'm gonna have so many weird discs in my bag next year.
Yeah.
Just because I like throwing things straight at it instead of like I'm not a big hyzer guy.
Yeah, when you told me on hole C that you tried to go straight at it day one, I was like, what were you thinking?
Because
Like-
I don't like hyzer throws. I'm a straight at it guy. Okay, even though it's the hardest shot in disc golf, I like my straight at it shots or like flip up.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm super excited about the trail.
It's plastic. I know it's just MVP plastic.
Yeah.
It feels so good.
Yeah.
It feels so good.
When it just feels like a nice 10 speed too.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it doesn't. It's not
This-
too wide.
This stamp is also beautiful. I
It
love
is.
the buffalo stamp. I love animal stamps.
No,
like
it's
this.
a. Is it a buff? Is it just a buffalo or is it a?
The buffalo.
Oh yeah.
Okay, we got a buffalo. That looks like a baby, like moose or alpaca. That's a bear. That's a pug. That's a
Yep.
bunny rabbit.
That's a moose.
That's a moose. And then there's the buffalo.
The buffalo. It reminds me of that thing from Avatar: The Last Airbender. The
Appa.
Appa.
Appa. Yeah. It looks like a stuffed animal, like a Chinese ripoff stuffed animal Appa,
Yeah,
and I love it.
that's what I was thinking
I
at
love
first.
Okay,
And then we
you
got
go.
the other new discs. We got a Fission Defy. I have a Defy in my bag, or at least it goes in and out of my bag.
Mhm.
It is a Proton, one of those like clear plastic ones,
Yeah.
max weight. The thing is pretty beefy, but it's very like. I remember when I went to sea level and threw it, and it's like very straight with a strong finish. I wonder if these lightweight ones in the Fission plastic are going to be
flippy.
not necessarily flippy, but like
Straighter.
straight. Like
This feels good in my hand.
it's a neg 1-2, I believe, is the numbers on it. But mine, when I would throw it, was like way more. It was almost as stable as my Grace. And my Grace is pretty stable.
Yeah,
Um,
I like the way that this thing feels. I also like the Fission plastics.
yeah,
I know they'll beat in like faster,
yeah.
but like
I
even though
used
with the
to-
Fission, like the rim is still like high quality.
I used to actually forehand a Defy.
Really?
It was one of my forehand discs for a little while because of how much it would fight out for
Yeah.
me. So I'm
Interesting.
curious to see how straight those Fission ones are.
Yeah. Also, another. God damn it.
Come on, Ian.
Sorry, guys. Another beautiful stamp from MVP. Kind of a little more creepy, but
A little more creepy.
oh well. I'm not a big horror movie guy.
Yeah.
So
Next, we got the new Eagle McMahon Dimensions Vision.
they're domey.
They are very domey. Yeah.
Like MVP stuff, I noticed
14 and a half speed.
beef,
I
not beef.
it could
but,
be
like,
fun, but there's no way I'm throwing this thing.
Yeah.
Like I used to try to throw the Relativity, which is like a neg 3, and I could
Mhm.
never even get it to go straight.
Yeah.
Like,
I can't throw this thing. I know there are some pros out there who are looking for like dimensions that were a little more
Flippier.
domey. This one definitely has some nice dome. I've seen a lot of dimensions lately be like board flat.
yeah,
This definitely has a little more dome to it, which is nice. And
that's gonna be super flippy if Eagle throws one like that.
yeah, this is Eagles roller.
I wouldn't say that, but
No,
it'll be
it's
flippy.
And then last but not least, the Totally Eclipse Hex.
We've seen Total Eclipse in the pitch. Envies?
No, pitch glitch.
No, it wasn't the glitch. Because the
No.
pitch is Axiom. It's only Axiom. Who else had Total Eclipse?
Proxy. Thank
Yeah.
you. Honestly, I've never been. Oh, I got sneeze.
It looks sick
Bless
because
me.
having the plastic all be the same color, so the rim and the center will glow.
I wonder if they did different glows for rim and center. That would be cool.
That would be super cool.
That'd be super cool.
I doubt they would though.
No, they wouldn't. But
Feels great. Feels like a hex. I wonder how stable. This one's almost like puddle topped. I wonder how stable this one is compared to like the OTB hexes that came out. Because those ones, at least for you and I up
more
here,
reactors.
are they're pretty stable. Versus like I know I've had like fission hexes in the past that are like they'll almost like flip and turn the whole
Yep.
time, almost a detour basically.
Yeah.
Put that detour back in my bag. So nice.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I'm tired. It's been a long
But yeah,
day.
nothing too special. I feel like about the hex. Just another glow.
No,
More excited about the trail and that Fission Defy. I think are going to be super fun discs.
for sure. I'm also not a big fan of the Total Eclipse Plastic. I just don't like the rim. Like throwing MVP, like this feels like a different plastic than the Edge does. Feel that? Like the flight plate and the Edge feels a little different. Yeah, I don't know. It's something I noticed. I don't.
All the
whatever.
same to me.
It's whatever.
I don't mind it. I also, you're more of a fan gripper too on your mid ranges.
I've been power gripping a lot more.
Yeah.
A lot more.
Nice.
I've only really been fan gripping for things that
Or less distance.
not even less distance, but like more like touch.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like tunnel shots where like I know I can throw mid, more touch.
Yeah, I do that with my putters when I'm like, okay, I need this to go like 100 feet, but I need it to go straight, but then a little bit left.
Yeah.
Like I have more control with a fan grip than I would a power grip.
Yeah. Before we double check.
Before we double check.
Well, before. Okay. Yeah. Here's our last thing. We have two very special discs of the week.
Yep.
We like looked and we haven't done these yet, and we don't know how.
We had to have like shouted them out or done something.
We've definitely talked about them, but like we haven't talked about them on disc of the week yet. So since I did 2 weeks, it's technically your week, but disc of the week will be back to normal next week.
Yeah.
But we wanted to do something special. So
This is kind of like our utility spot, and it's almost the same type of disc, but I throw a Yikun crossbow, and
I throw a Viking Loki.
they're both like pretty much Zone OS style.
No
like,
SOS.
Yeah, it's super beefy, 4-speed, gets to the ground. Smaller manufacturers that are making kind of fun discs. I'd consider Yikun a smaller, definitely Viking.
Definitely.
And I don't love a lot of what Yikun does, but like this thing has been in my bag ever since I got it, and I can't imagine not having one.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I got mine. I got my Loki in Alaska. This is my backup. My other one is at home. This one's a little more pop toppy than I remember my other one being, but I might just have to throw this a bunch and beat it in. Who knows?
Mine was nicknamed Beefalo.
Because I had the Beefalo stamp.
Had the Beefalo stamp, and it was an ace disc that is now in the Ogden River up at the fort. So, luckily, the shop had an extra backup for me.
Yeah. They feel almost identical. I would say the only thing is the crossbow is a little more like in and down. Like it looks more like this on the inside, whereas the Loki's a little more like this.
Yeah.
On the rim.
I almost strictly forehand this. This is my get out of jail free forehand that I need it to go 200 feet and I don't want it to go further.
Yep.
I can throw this as hard as I want. It won't go further than 200 feet. Like
I have tried to backhand flex this thing on like a crazy anti-angle, and it won't even glide. It just straight to the ground.
slower tilts.
Slow tilts, yeah. That one especially. This one's not. I don't think the Loki's as beefy as the crossbow.
Yeah.
Definitely still beefy, but it's not as beefy.
You get a little more glide out of it.
A little bit, and especially this Domier one. A few times I have thrown it. I feel like I beat this in. It could be that Crystal Zone replacement.
The blue one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that one's getting straight. That one's getting straighter, and I don't like it as much.
Yeah.
So.
No. Utility 4-speed utility discs, I feel like are very underrated. Like everybody's like, oh yeah, I have a zone. And it's like, yeah, but no. Like you can have a zone, but this thing, like, I can throw it on stupid lines. Like, was that hole 11 or 12 up at Solitude the one day where I was back on like the bike path with absolutely no look at the basket, and I can throw it on a knife edge like this, and it still came out and like went over top of the basket through the trees.
Yeah.
This is great. Like,
yeah, these things are amazing. Please go, like, if you guys want to throw these, like, I know I have 2 more of these.
this is my last one.
That's your last one. So don't ask Dave, but if you want to come throw one of these, like, I have this one and a yellow one that I'm willing to let people throw. If you want to try it before you buy it, because these are discs that I think everyone should have in their bag. It is a literal get out of jail free card. A Zono S is not as stable as this. You need a tilt.
Yep. It's slow tilt.
Slow tilt.
It's always fun watching people see me throw this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I remember when we were doing the ace races, and like, I would throw it like this on forehand, and everybody's like, "You didn't even throw it towards the basket," and then it just like
Yeah.
skip. It's like, how?
Do you know the numbers on that?
I believe it's 4304.
Okay. Mine's a 4204.
It might be 4204. Let me look at it.
I know
real
mine's a
quick.
4204 for sure because I love it. And I actually, this and that Sidewinder might have been in my bag the longest
Ooh,
because I've had this since Alaska. The
really?
one that's in my bag, I've had it since Alaska. So this,
Uh,
my Sidewinder.
Oh man, you wanna know what the manufacturer flight numbers are for
Yes.
this thing? Take a guess. It is a 4-speed.
1.5.
1.5 glide, 0.54.
Oh, yeah, beef.
Yeah.
Just straight.
It does not glide. Beef, that's why I called it beefalo.
Yep.
Apparently I can
What's
get it.
what's Infinite's rating for it?
For 1.7.64.
Okay. Will you
So
look up
still positive.
Will you look up the Loki on that?
Yeah.
I know mine's 2404. First off, I want to put this one in my bag because it looks so pretty. I don't want it to be domey, guys. If anyone knows like a Loki before Vikings started putting their weights on the back of their discs, that's a little flatter, let me know.
4204.
Okay, that's what Infinite's saying.
Yeah, Infinite even gives it reviewer flight numbers 4204.
Okay.
So, beef.
Beef.
That's what I love about them.
Love about it. Ben, do you have any shop updates before we shut this thing down?
Yeah.
Okay,
Other than adding another 1,000 rows of discs.
Yeah, another 1,000. We just made space for another 1,500 discs in the bottom row. I've got 50 more racks on order. I'm gonna try and kind of redo some stuff over here. Gonna make a couple new sections to just keep adding more space for more frisbees. And what else is new at the shop? Got some stuff in the works for some fall flex start sanctioned type, not like a league necessarily, but just like a bit of a series, just trying to get things to be cheaper. Yeah, I'm trying to use the shop to combat the issues that I have in disc golf right now, which are things are getting really expensive. So used rack, cheap discs,
Mm-hmm.
sanctioned events are getting expensive. So I'm trying to do like a more entry level like sanctioned series, ideally. Not entry level in terms of like who can play in it, because anyone can play, but in terms of how much it costs.
Sure.
And trying to do that. What else is happening? Glow League's been just like
So fun.
so solid. Like we've had 60, probably averaged about 65 people there every week, and we only have 1 month left in Glow, which is crazy. Only 4 more weeks.
I'm surprised you guys are averaging so high while there's other tournaments going on. Like
Oh yeah,
even
like
while
during
like Solitude open.
Yeah, no, it's been nuts. It's been cool. The Glow League's brought out a lot of people I think who don't traditionally even play sanctioned events, and I think that's awesome. So, doing stuff like that's been fun. And what else is going on? Yeah, we got the release of those discs you guys just talked about happening in a few days. So
I'm excited.
yeah, me too.
I got a trail.
Me too. Yeah, I'm pumped. Yeah, Trail's good. I think that's the best disc from this release, outside of the Hex, which is the best.
I mean, it's just a hex though. How stable is it compared
It's
to like the
actually-
OTB?
I threw it one time and I was like, dang, it's really stable. And then I threw it again and then like 2-3 more times and I was like, actually, it's just like pretty neutral. It's like it's what you expect out of a Hex, which I think is good.
Yeah.
It's like just right down the middle, stable, not understable, not overstable, just like a Hex. You know, it flies like a neutron Hex shit. So
Sick.
even though it's Eclipse, and so it's great. The Trail is good. I don't think it's a long crave.
No.
Craves to me are just like so easy, effortless distance, and you got to hit the Trail to get it to do what a crave does, where it's just like flip up, pan right, finish left. You know, like really nice smooth ester, and you get out of it. I think it's more like a beast, maybe. Less stable, but like maybe more like a long servo, like a long Eclipse servo. It's definitely more stable than the crave.
What about like an Onyx? Like
Yeah,
I know
it's a decent comp.
an Onyx is like 0.3, but like at least mine flies dead straight for 350 and then like get stable.
Yeah, like out of the box at least, that's what I've found. I think they'll beat in to be really good.
Yeah.
So we will. Yeah, we'll see. They're sweet. I love the stamps on these things too.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
They're awesome. So it's
Heck
a good
yeah.
disc. That's for sure. Yeah, I think it's the best one out of this run. The dimensions are beef.
The dimensions are always beef.
They
I'm,
are.
I'm excited to see what that does.
These
though.
are more stable than I think people are gonna think they are. Like I got one in like 150 something. Took it out and it's a wraith. It flies like a stable wraith.
Okay, because
So
the
it's
proton ones, at least up here at elevation,
yeah.
are beef. Like
Yeah, no, these are. Yeah, this is like way more similar to a neutron defy than it. You know, like when the time lapse came out, and was like, "Oh my God, fission fixes everything."
yeah,
This is like way closer to a neutron defy than the fission time lapse is to a neutron time lapse. If that makes sense.
Good
Gotcha.
to know. Sweet.
not how I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that's all I got.
It's everything for this week, I think.
Good.
Glad to be back.
Glad to be back. I'm ready to go take a nap though. It's been a long weekend and a long day,
It
and I
is.
want to go to bed.
I need to go play some more disc golf. If anybody wants to go play, hit me up. I gotta get an ace before 2 days. 1 day.
Yeah,
One
I'm
day
not
at this
playing.
point.
I have things tomorrow night and Wednesday night. Yeah, I'm not playing with you till Thursday.
At least.
Yeah.
And then Saturday we got something fun coming.
Oh yeah.
I gotta
Hopefully.
text the boys about it.
Yeah, for sure. And then we need to figure out a video for this Friday.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
You have the SD cards. You figure it out. There's a lot. There's a lot of footage on there.
There's a
There's
lot.
a lot of footage on there.
I'll take a look at everything and see what we got going on. I should have forgot to upload those files for you. I could have done
That's
that.
okay.
I could have done that while we were waiting for the pod.
That's okay. Few things. We have some big updates coming soon. We don't have a date yet. But there may or may not be a week where we, do a short, like, 20-minute pod just because we have, I have a job. You're trying to find a job.
Life.
Yeah. Like,
Hey, I got a job coming. I'm working Sunday.
Hey,
Hey,
you are pizza.
The pizza pop up.
Pizza pop up.
Not that this needs any help because
Yeah.
that thing is gonna take off like wildfire again.
Yeah.
But Sam makes pizza. Go follow. I work on the weekends.
Yeah. Well, we have a very cool thing coming up soon, and following that, we have a lot of cool ideas and things we want to do as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the podcast. We will see you next week, same time, same place. Let's get out of here. I'm out.
Yeah, I'm done.
Yep, I'm going home. You can close up.
I'm gonna do the end.